Or leave school and be homeschooled.
Coup.
All right, Lady Michelle, February 2nd, 2017. It's Thursday. We got a coup.
It ain't cool to start a coup against Donald Trump. Okay, so an ex-Obama official suggests in her article over here that she would like 3 ways to get rid of Donald Trump, which it's highly disturbing in several ways. It goes back to our Tim Kaine thing. I'm going to read you what it says on how they explain it, Breitbart. In a blog post for Foreign Policy magazine, Rosa Brooks, a former Obama administration official, outlined 4 ways, she says 3 ways, to get rid of President Trump, including declaring him mentally unfit for command or carrying out a military coup. Brooks is a Schwartz Senior Fellow at the New American Foundation, which is funded by billionaire George Soros.
No kidding.
Society Foundation. How does and like I tell people, George Soros wakes up. He says, "Hail Satan! Well, how do you want me to spend these dollars that you have given me?"
But if you put the word foundation on something, it already sounds so great and humanitarian.
Hitler's Foundation. She served from 2009 to 2011 as counselor to the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy and served as a senior advisor to Obama's State Department. So this is not just a nobody out there saying, "Hey, this is the ways we can set a coup." Her posting is titled 3 Ways to Get Rid of President Trump Before 2020, although the piece actually outlines 4 ways. What seems to be a deliberate tactic, Brooks repeatedly questions Trump's mental stability, claiming that the president's first week in office had made it all too clear, yes, he is as crazy as everyone feared, because Hillary Clinton is not crazy. Brooks, who is not a mental health professional, offered no evidence for her armchair psychological evaluation other than citing policies that she doesn't like. Remember those optimistic pre-inauguration fantasies? I cherish them too. You know, once he's president, I'm sure he'll realize he doesn't really make sense to withdraw from all these treaties, blah, blah, blah. No, and
he's so crazy. He's actually doing the things that he said he would do. And when it comes to presidents, right, that puts you in the category of being crazy, because most presidents go into office and they have said they do a bunch of stuff, and then they get in there and then they don't do it, and they're sane. But the crazy ones say, "I'm going to do all this stuff," and they get in office and they do it and they go crazy.
She calls him, this is so intelligent, a crummy president. See,
you're just crummy. Crummy. You know, sometimes crummy is good, like a cake and
elect him out of office after his 4-year term. But after such a catastrophic first week, 4 years seems like a long time to wait. You know, a lot of people are happy with his first week. Impeachment, however, she lamented, impeachments take a long time, months if not longer, even with an enthusiastic Congress, which you don't have. And when you have a lunatic controlling the nuclear code, which you don't have, that would have been with Clinton. Even a few months seems like, and that goes back to our video where if there's some commies trying to overthrow Russia and then Hillary wants to go to war with Russia, you know how close we were? She was talking about nuclear...
at war with Russia now.
She was talking about nuclear bombs and warning Russia in her...
What our response time was.
She was, utilizing a claim of mental instability to invoke the 25th Amendment. And the 25th Amendment was actually put in place because Woodrow Wilson had several life-altering strokes, and he was incapacitated. It was a mental vegetable, and his wife and the leaders around him ran the country. I don't know if you know that little bit of history. Which sets the path for the commander-in-chief's removal if the president is unable to discharge the duties of his office. A military coup. She writes, the 4th possibility, because her article says 3, but she says 4, is one that until recently I would have said was unthinkable in the United States of America, a military coup, or at least a refusal by military leaders to obey certain orders, which is what we have with the Attorney General, what we had promoted by Tim Kaine. We have this.
But I have to tell you guys that the military is actually very supportive of Trump. So that really still is unthinkable.
Right.
Maybe.
It's kind of like when you heard all those celebrities coming out with, "Oh, Congress, please do something before Trump's inaugurated."
Right.
Oh, please, oh, please.
We the people, we the famous people that don't represent every American that gets out and does hard work for a living.
So she proposes a preposterous scenario here. What would top U.S. militaries do if given an order that struck them as not merely ill-advised but dangerously unhinged? You mean like Hillary Clinton with the nuclear threats? An order that wasn't along the lines of prepare a plan to invade Iraq if Congress authorized it based on questionable intelligence. Like, Bush did. But prepare to invade Mexico tomorrow or start rounding up Muslim Americans and sending them to Guantanamo. I'm going to teach China a lesson with nukes. Seriously. So she goes on to say, read the 25th Amendment. Surely Pence wants to be president himself one day, right? Pence isn't exactly a political moderate. He's been unremittingly hostile to gay rights. He's a climate change skeptic, etc. But unappealing as his politics may be, many Americans, he doesn't appear to be insane. During the 26th presidential campaign, opponents of Trump similarly attempted to delegitimize his policies by raising questions about his mental health. And it just goes on and on. They all run with the same story. So if one person gets it, then they're like, okay, we're all going to hit it and see what sticks with the people.
So if you want to question Trump's mental sanity, go ahead, just sit back and do so. But unless he actually sits down with a couple of different psychologists and they get a chance to analyze him, you really don't have anything to go on.
So, but this is so reminiscent of the people, I'm just going to have to call them on the left, or whatever you want to call them, who are calling for...
Oh, just anything. They're grasping at straws here at this point.
Right.
You know, people can be very, like us. The same lady would probably say that we're mentally unstable. Maybe some of you say the same thing. But sometimes when you actually know the truth, you'll look crazy when everybody else is like going to, like sheep to the slaughter.
Right. Exactly. So...
And you guys are the resistance, and
are they
know
good?
this.
You know,
they all call you crazy too.
Stick
we
with
say
us.
you're sane.
Like.
Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. This is Lee Michelle signing off, where it is not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. And subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. And if you want to find Lee and I on Facebook, we're not going to stop you. All right, we love you guys.
I was cold all alone. No place for